Workplace investigations are not just about uncovering the truth. They are about protecting your company, ensuring fairness, and maintaining compliance. When handled correctly, they can prevent costly lawsuits, protect your employees, and strengthen your workplace culture. But when handled poorly, they can lead to legal trouble, fines, and reputational damage. That's why it's critical to follow a structured, legally sound process. In this session, we highlight the key takeaways from the March 13, 2025 webinar conducted by compliance expert Margie Faulk, who shared best practices for workplace investigations that meet compliance guidelines and regulations. Margie Faulk specializes in workplace investigations, HR compliance, and risk management strategies. She has advised businesses of all sizes and has even testified as a compliance subject matter expert. Why workplace investigations matter? Every organization, whether large or small, will face workplace complaints at some point. These can range from harassment and discrimination to policy violations and misconduct. But what separates a legally secure company from one facing legal penalties is how quickly and effectively these complaints are investigated. Margie Faulk emphasized that investigations must be timely, well-documented, and impartial. If companies delay or handle them incorrectly, they risk losing employee trust, exposing themselves to lawsuits, and even violating federal regulations. That's why the process needs to be clear, fair, and compliant with legal standards. So, how do you get it right? Let's walk through the essential steps of an investigation, ensuring that each one is conducted with care and precision. Step 1. Investigations should begin as soon as possible, ideally within 24 to 48 hours of receiving a complaint. The longer you wait, the more difficult it becomes to collect reliable information, and delays can also expose the company to legal risks. Step 2. Select an investigator who is impartial and trained. The investigator must be unbiased, trained, and equipped to handle compliance-related inquiries. For many organizations, this means HR. But in some cases, third-party investigators or legal counsel may be the better option. Step 3. Collect and review all evidence. A thorough investigation requires strong documentation. This includes reviewing written complaints, checking emails, messages, security footage, and policy documents, and gathering all necessary materials before conducting interviews. The key? Document everything. Step 4. Conduct interviews with structured questions. Ask clear, structured questions. The way questions are asked matters. Investigators must keep interviews neutral, professional, and consistent. Some of the most important questions to ask include: what happened? Who was involved? When and where did the incident take place? Are there any witnesses or supporting documents? Step 5. Ensure confidentiality and prevent retaliation. Employees should feel safe reporting issues. That means companies must protect their identity and ensure that retaliation does not occur. Many lawsuits stem from retaliation rather than the initial complaint itself, so handling this step carefully is essential. Step 6. Make a decision based on facts, not assumptions. Once the evidence is gathered, decisions should be based strictly on the facts, company policies, and legal guidelines. Every action taken should be consistent with how similar cases have been handled in the past to prevent claims of discrimination or unfair treatment. Step 7. Document everything in a final investigation report. A well-structured investigation report should summarize the findings in a clear, factual, and legally sound manner. It must include the complaint details, evidence collected, key findings, and the final decision, along with any corrective actions taken. Step 8. Follow up and strengthen workplace culture. An investigation does not end with a decision. Companies must follow up with employees, implement training if necessary, and adjust policies to prevent future issues. This step ensures ongoing compliance and reinforces a culture of accountability. That's the formula for a legally sound and effective workplace investigation. Even when you follow the right steps, certain mistakes in workplace investigations can create serious legal and compliance risks, leading to lawsuits, penalties, or even damage to your company's reputation. Let's take a closer look at some of the most common mistakes that can put your organization in trouble. Waiting too long to investigate. One of the biggest mistakes companies make is delaying an investigation after receiving a complaint, because the longer an issue remains unresolved, the more difficult it becomes to gather accurate evidence, interview key witnesses, and ensure that facts are preserved, which ultimately weakens your ability to take appropriate action and may even expose the company to claims of negligence or non-compliance with federal and state workplace regulations. Incomplete documentation. Even if an investigation is handled correctly, a lack of proper documentation can make it seem as though nothing was done. And without written records of complaints, witness statements, evidence gathered, and final decisions made, a company will have no legal protection in the event of an audit, lawsuit, or regulatory inquiry, making it critical to keep thorough, detailed records at every stage of the process. Unfair treatment. Investigations must be conducted fairly and consistently across all employees, because failing to follow the same procedures for similar cases or showing favoritism, whether intentional or not, can lead to discrimination claims, loss of employee trust, and serious reputational damage, especially when employees feel that workplace policies are not enforced equally for everyone. Lack of confidentiality. One of the most damaging mistakes in a workplace investigation is allowing confidential details to be leaked, either intentionally or accidentally, because once sensitive information is shared beyond those directly involved in the case, it can lead to workplace gossip, retaliation against the complainant, a loss of trust in leadership, and even legal consequences if employees claim that their privacy rights were violated. Skipping legal review. While some workplace investigations can be handled internally, certain high-risk cases, especially those involving harassment, discrimination, retaliation, or potential terminations, require legal oversight to ensure compliance with federal and state laws, and failing to seek legal guidance in these situations can result in costly lawsuits, wrongful termination claims, and fines that could have been avoided with the right expert advice. Here is what you need to do. Investigate serious complaints immediately. Delays in addressing workplace complaints can lead to evidence becoming unreliable, witness accounts fading, and legal risks increasing, so investigations should begin within 24 to 48 hours to ensure fairness and accuracy. Be fair, consistent, and document every step. Every investigation should follow the same structured process, with detailed records of evidence, witness statements, and final decisions, because inconsistent handling can lead to claims of bias or discrimination. Protect employees from retaliation. Retaliation is one of the most common reasons why employees hesitate to report workplace issues, so it's crucial to create a safe environment where employees can speak up without fear of punishment, demotion, or mistreatment. Employers must actively enforce anti-retaliation policies and monitor workplace dynamics after an investigation to ensure that no negative consequences arise for those who reported misconduct. Communicate the process clearly to all involved. Workplace investigations can create anxiety and uncertainty, which is why clear and transparent communication is essential. Employees should understand what to expect, who is handling the case, and how confidentiality will be maintained, while also ensuring that the accused party is given a fair chance to provide their side of the story. Follow through. Don't let issues resurface. An investigation is only effective if its outcomes lead to real change, so it's important to follow up, implement corrective actions, and monitor the workplace to ensure that the issue does not happen again. Whether it involves policy updates, additional training, or disciplinary action, organizations must stay committed to reinforcing a safe and compliant work environment. By enforcing these principles, companies can build trust, maintain compliance, and create a culture where employees feel protected and respected. Mastering workplace investigations isn't just about compliance, it's about protecting your people and your company. Want the full training? checklists, and compliance templates? Margie Faulk has shared exclusive checklists, templates, and case examples in the full webinar recording. Visit Amorit Education to access the full recording of the webinar or check the link in the description.